Hello and welcome to Follow Everton. It's me, Basil, here to react to Everton's 4-0 hooray win over Wolves. About time we got a win. I believe Ryan might be joining. I'm sure he can bring himself in when he has at the moment to do so. He's just leaving Goodison. I'm not sure if we'll be joined by any other Follow Everton cast tonight. It might be quite a short one, and tomorrow we'll have a bit more debrief, I think, with the preview as well for the next match. But yeah, Everton have won a game. What do you think of that? Put your comments in. We just see who's commenting. Yeah, so Everton won that game. Yes, it was pretty easy in the end, but I can't help but be slightly negative, as I am quite negative, and say Wolves were quite a bad side. But you know, Everton did what they had to do to win that game, and they won it convincingly. I'm inclined to know if the atmosphere was good tonight from Ryan. Fortunately, couldn't make it at the last minute. So but I'll be back for Saturday. Ryan is joining me now. Is it you? You're not driving then? What's that laugh? You come out of Goodison.
I'm audio only.
You've come out with a win for once. You don't do that very often, do you, at Goodison? When you
No,
you're not
it was almost too easy, to the point where it felt like a testimonial game.
Yeah, it did.
Can I just say that Wolves were really bad? Wolves were really bad. It could have been 6 or 7 had we put a bit more effort in. I think we didn't get out of first gear. And can I also say the atmosphere was really, really poor. It's the flattest that I can recall in years. It felt like a League Cup game, second round, with half the stadium empty and a load of kids in the ground going to their first match.
That's really interesting. I don't know why that would be, but I mean, that's why I was inclined to know about the atmosphere, because I thought maybe 2-0 up, you know, it would start to bounce.
Just put me on audio only.
Can I do that? I thought you have to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Apologies.
fine. Yeah, you've lost my train of thought. Yeah, the atmosphere. Yeah, so when it was 2-0 up, you're telling me the fans didn't, sing.
No, even at 4-0. No, even at 4-0, there was no atmosphere. I don't think there's anything. I can't remember anything like that, to be honest. It was so flat. I think the Wolves fans were brilliant. The Everton fans, I mean, I was one of them, but there was just no atmosphere, even at 2-0, 3-0, 4-0. It felt like a testimonial, and we just turned up. We didn't have to do anything to win. We got 4 goals from set pieces. And in all honesty, we got a clean sheet. We could have had 5 or 6. The first goal, the offside one, the Mangala one, I've just seen it back. I think it's just over refereeing the games, really. But I can see why it's being given. I would have liked maybe 5 and 6 goals, something from open play. I know that's just taking the piss, really. But Brozier, who looked really, really exciting and dynamic when he came on, perhaps he can get a goal or Ndiaye. But yeah, just the 4, unfortunately. Just the 4 goals at home today. Considering we're starved of goals and wins, you know, it's a great result. And Everton really did play well, but I thought Wolves were terrible.
Yeah, you've got to appreciate what the game was. It was a must-win game. The pressure was on Everton with the tough run they've got and the really poor run of late. All right, we didn't lose many games, but we weren't scoring. We didn't look convincing. And Everton put 4 away tonight. You have to commend them for that and say, very good job, got it done. But there's a lot of work still to be done. I think Everton players, they were average tonight, a lot of them, and I think a few of them were really good. And I think, you know, nobody had a poor game, but that was testament to how lackluster that Wolves team are. They only really have a threat, Wolves, when they're on the break. They seem to give the ball away as much as we do when they're in the general build-up. The goals came from set pieces. You've got to put them away, though, haven't you? The 2 own goals. Yeah, you can easily make this really negative.
The shape.
Look,
the shape. Oh.
No, go on.
Is my signal bad?
No, I can hear you perfectly.
I think you're breaking up. I think you're breaking up for me.
Well, let us know in the comments who's breaking up. Oh, where's he gone? And he's gone. Well, hopefully he will come back. Someone just posted Harrison's didn't have a poor game. I think you need to watch that back. I think he missed 2 sitters, particularly one right at the end. He could have taken a touch on it and he could have just slotted it with his left foot. He just rushes it.
Just bear with me a second.
You're back in the room. Yeah, that first goal.
I thought I'm going to give you some thoughts. The formation today was a lot better, and I think he realised this season. Oh, what's going on?
You're breaking up. Hello? Are you with me? I just don't want to start talking about something and then you come in. I'll take that as a no.
Can you hear me?
I can now. Can you talk?
Yeah, I'm just coming out of Goodison. The signal's not the best.
No.
The formation today was a lot better, and I think he realised he needed to go back to what he did last season, which was to have a solid base with a number 10 who can defend and keep the shape, and then join in. And as much as Decore at times giving the ball away didn't look on the same page as his other team, it gave us more stability, and I felt like the players knew what they were doing a bit more. There was a bit more of a plan. There was a bit more cohesion. It got the best out of Calvert-Lewin. He had somewhere closer to him to give him that support, and Calvert-Lewin had his best game of the season. So the team selection was right. I think some of the individuals, you said some of them didn't play poor, but then I didn't think McNeil, who got 3 assists, looked very good. For some reason, I thought he didn't pass the eye test from open play. He was just, his second touch was a tackle. His third touch was a falling over, and every time he gets the ball, he slows it down. He wants to get it on his left foot. He'll have 3-4 touches, and I felt like Everton were much better when they took 1 and 2 touches and played with the pace and intensity rather than slowing it down. The minute you slow it down. But look, as well as the formation and the lineup playing well, and generally everyone playing well apart from a couple who I thought were poor from open play, McNeil, Decore on the ball, you could say, but his positional sense was spot on. The pressing was also miles better, David, off the ball. We got at Wolves. We didn't let them have time, and I think they struggled. Their back four was poor, and we did the right thing to go and press them because they haven't got the players in the defence who can play out the back. And we did the right thing, and we executed that press a lot better.
No, you're right. The tactics were a lot better and a lot more logical. Wolves couldn't play out. They've got the fairly slow, and the likes of Dawson in the back line. They make mistakes, and we preyed on that quite a bit. We just didn't put them to the sword when we did get those little breaks. And set pieces, we capitalised because, you look at that Wolves side, they're not the biggest, are they? You've got to play to your strengths, and I think one of those, not just about balance in midfield, but just getting physicality up and around Dominic Calvert-Lewin and getting players around him that can win that ball, and just seem to be physically a lot stronger than them throughout the game, and that led to us winning balls high up the pitch from long balls and winning free kicks, which were the set pieces that we scored from. And I think that was key to it, really, that physicality. They couldn't live with it.
It was the press, it was the physicality, it was the shape. It was just a lot more. I felt like we had a plan. Look, from open play, the problem is we're leaving a lot to be desired with the end ball, the end product. It's almost like the final thing doesn't quite come off. But I felt like we made better runs. The movement was better. There was a bit more chemistry between them. look, it was 4-0. I want to watch it back, and I don't know how many chances we had from open play, but you can't argue with the result, David. 4-0,
Oh,
clean sheet, convincing,
yeah, I think at 4-0,
dominating.
the main thing is the clean sheet then. It would have been nice to keep scoring, but I think to get that clean sheet is really important. Everton probably should have, the goal that was ruled out, arguably shouldn't have been ruled out. I can see exactly why it was ruled out, but I think we see so many of those situations from corner kicks week in, week out, and they don't tend to be ruled out. But because it was a free kick and they were running onto the ball and he was offside, they ruled it out. So I find that really unusual. You can't block it from a free kick, but you can block it from a corner. And the guy was never going to win the header against Tarkowski. He beat 3 people in the air. The ball was perfect for him. So we should probably have had that goal. I don't know if you've got any additional thoughts on that.
Have we skipped the Young free kick?
No, I'll go back to. I'm just saying we probably should have had that.
Well, why are we
goal.
skipping? Why are we going straight to goal 2?
Probably should have scored another goal around that time where Calvert-Lewin. There was a ball played across the 6-yard by Ashley Young, which he should be eating up, gobbling up for dinner. It would have been a tap in.
We should have been out of sight.
The ball was great. I really think that 2-0, that should have been 2 or 3-0 at that point. You want to talk about the free kick?
No, come back to the free kick then. If you've started talking about the offside one, to me it just looked like a great cross. And who took the cross? Was it McNeil?
It was Ashley Young that. Oh, you're talking about the free kick? Yeah, it was McNeil.
So I mean, he was really good on the set pieces today.
He was, yeah.
And he put that on the plate for Tarkowski. It looked like he was going to score the minute the cross is going over. In fact, all the goals, they were almost like slow motion. You know they're going in. And Tarkowski was so happy for him to score, only for it to get ruled out. And I was in the park end. I was baffled that it got ruled out. I just couldn't see how he was offside. But then they've gone and ruled it out for a player who was nowhere near the ball and just having a tangle with someone else. There's always going to be someone having a battle who's on an offside position. So I'm sorry. I think that's very harsh. I think that's over refereeing the game. But I can also see the other side of it if you're being nitpicky.
Yeah, completely agree. So yeah, I mean that was for 2-0, wasn't it? Which was a bit of a difference at that moment. But the 1-0 goal, did you think we were gonna be 1-0 up at that point? Did we deserve to be 1-0 up at that point?
Not sure whether we deserved to be 1-0 up. I think we came out with good intentions of trying to make something happen. I was a bit concerned, obviously, how flat the crowd was. It was almost like there was no one in the ground. But just for the first 20 minutes, it was so quiet. It was like being in Allerton Library. The Ashley Young, it looked like McNeil's going to hit it to the goalie's left, or Young is going to go over to the keeper's right, and he just baffled everyone and he kept it low. Keeper's lines blocked. And what you've got to remember, Basil, is Jose Sarr is a very good goalkeeper at shot stopping and his reflexes. But when he's blocked and when his eyes are blocked, he's really poor. He was weak as piss on all the set pieces and in general in that match. He was really, really poor. He was bullied. And when he couldn't see it, he couldn't stop it. So Everton got that right, because normally he has a worldie at Goodison. Really good from Ashley Young. Everyone thinks it's going to be McNeil going to the keeper's left, or even Young going to the goalie's right. Instead, he hits it low around the wall. Keeper will be disappointed with it because it wasn't mounds of pace, but it was a very accurate strike from Young. And Everton getting the goal, I think it settled them down. And of course, the second goal getting ruled out felt frustrating, but it almost felt like it was inevitable we'd go and get a second goal with how Wolves were playing as well.
Yeah, I think the moment I kind of saw him pick the ball up, he did look confident and he placed the ball down with like real intent that he was going to give it a good effort, and he did deliver it. And I think Wolves, they only put 4 in the wall, and as I said before, they're not the biggest side. They should have probably had 5. They probably should have covered that angle, but it was clever from Ashley Young. I think the keeper would have struggled to get there. It was 55 miles an hour, and it was quite accurate. I think if they'd just had an extra man in the wall, it probably wouldn't have
55 miles.
Yeah, it
55
probably
miles
would.
an hour? Really?
Mm,
How did they work that out?
I don't know, something on the prime thing. They
That
must
was
have some
impressive.
statistician.
That was impressive because I thought there wasn't a mound of pace on it, but he's obviously got decent pace on the ball.
Yeah, that it was. It was a good strike, and it's the accuracy and the fact it's low as well. You know, it's hard to get down to that.
It was a really nice strike from Ashley Young, who I think's been our best player. And I don't say that lightly. I
Mm.
think he's been our best player for a number of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I think he got man of the match from the TV broadcasters today, and I think you know, you can't really argue with that. He had a really good game,
Yeah,
both
yeah,
attacking
10 out of 10.
crosses, defensively, getting in the right places and blocking really important
Yeah,
things.
brilliant,
And I think
brilliant from
as a
him.
team, Everton, the back line, they weren't afraid to put the foot through the ball and clear it out of play, which I think because you know at United they were just really poor. They tried to overplay. They just lost a lot of sloppy goals. I think they were
We did the
told like
basics better,
make
David.
sure you put the ball out and you put your foot through it because isn't it, and then get back into shape because and I think that was probably a good reality check in a way. The United game that you know if you're going to lose a game 1-0, your paper's over, but you lose it 4, you've really got to do something different. And they
Well, I
come
thought
out.
this was a deciding factor in the season. We're either going to get a reaction and he's going to get a tune out of them, or it's going to be more of the same and we'll lose on a whimper, maybe a 1-0. Wolves will get a set piece late in the game, 86 minutes, that smash and grab, and then we'll get battered 4-0 by Liverpool or something. But I'm glad. I think we've. By the way, I'll be able to come on camera in a minute. I think we've managed to boost momentum, and at 2-0, hang on, what was the second goal?
It's the
The real
Mangala
second goal.
strike.
The Mangala, who was guilty of the offside, goes and gets that nice goal. Looked like it take a double deflection, and the goalie was unsighted.
Yeah, it did take a deflection. I think it came from a corner kick originally or a free kick. I can't remember exactly, but the ball was a good ball. I think they caused a bit of havoc. Tarkovsky won the header. There was a bit of a scramble in the box. I think somebody had a shot and it got deflected out to him or something. And I think from the position he picks up that ball, you're thinking he's got to at least hit the target with a decent effort. And he does. He just gets a good connection on it. But as you said, it did take a deflection, which probably helped it go past the keeper. But it's a good strike, first strike for Mangala on his start. He gets a start for once. I think he gave us balance. I think he had a really good game as well.
More stability in the midfield because his distribution and movement and mobility is much better than Decore. The Decore in midfield is an experiment that hasn't worked. Let's be honest. And also, guys, I just want to say, what should you do? Subscribe and smash the like button right now.
Decore was out of necessity, I believe, for putting McNeil in the central areas, and I'm still not against putting McNeil there because I think he has provided us goals and assists. But you've got to use him in the right games. I think when you're trying to break down opposition, maybe, whereas today is more of a little bit of a counter-attacking, try and win those scrappy battles. You probably want your bigger physical player up with Calvert-Lewin winning those scraps. Agana Gay was a bit quiet, I thought, but I think because Mangala was in there as well to help him out, and he's had to do a lot of work in recent weeks. So yeah, 2-0 up then.
2-0 up. Peter saying Mangala and holding midfield is pretty much the only tactical decision Dice got right. Let's be a bit more positive today, pal. Martin's in agreement. I think we've just won 4-0. Second goal, another set piece, deflected shot, Mangala 2-0. Yeah, go on, Basil.
Yeah, and I think, as I said before, it probably should have been 3 by that point, or well, actually 4 if you count the offside one, Calvert-Lewin tap in, but you can't obviously because we didn't score them. But yeah, it could have been completely out of sight basically by half time. And as I say, Everton weren't fantastic. They gave the ball away. They were sloppy at times, but they won that when they did give the ball away.
Decore and McNeil.
They hunt back, but even the back line would sometimes play a bad pass, but they hunt back together and made sure they didn't lead to anything. Actually, they didn't do it United because United are so fast on the break, you can't catch them up. but they got away with it tonight. And I think, if we play like that against the big sides, we probably wouldn't be winning the game. But, it is what it is. And it was a good game for
That's
us.
negative. That's negative. I think we
Well,
played
I've got to
well.
be
We did
realistic.
give the ball.
I've got to be
We
realistic.
gave the
Wolves
ball away.
are similar to us. You can see that. They can't
No,
play
we're
out.
better than Wolves. We're miles better than Wolves. Wolves are terrible. We could have won about 6 or 7-0 tonight, and we didn't even get out of first gear. McNeil was giving the ball away. Decoy was giving the ball away. You can say you get punished against. You'll get punished against the top sides if you give the ball away. But anyway, David, move on. Stop lingering on negative shite at 4-0 after a 4-0 win.
So, half time.
Yeah.
Or nothing more on that half, I don't think. And then what? Same old second half? Was that the plan? Keep going.
Yeah, we'll have said to them, just keep going. Wolves are going to make more mistakes. I think Wolves came out the blocks for a good 5 minutes or so. Everton took till about 55 minutes to get going in that second half. It looked like we were just kind of going through the motions, and I was thinking, could we make a change perhaps, just to get some more energy? But we didn't make any changes, and it was 3-0. There wasn't many chances in between the goals, David.
No, there wasn't. I didn't think we created a hatful of chances in that next sort of 20, 30 minutes of the game. I think that it was just the two set pieces that followed, and Everton's really good set piece delivery and just putting it into quality areas. And Calvert-Lewin could have had 2 goals, but it turns out Craig Dawson will take that stat and joins an exclusive club of double own goal scorers in the Premier League.
Fuck's sake. They were down the bottom end, so to me, I can't even remember them. I remember the fourth one, Calvert-Lewin, looks like it was a diving header. There was a few chances in between. There was the one that got ruled out, but if you want to talk us through those 2 goals, David.
Yeah, that first one was McNeil corner from the right-hand side. He's swinging it back in towards goal. It's a good ball, and it lands just over the keeper's head. I'm thinking the keeper maybe should have been better there, but he didn't seem to be in the right place to get to it, and it went over his head. Calvert-Lewin would have had tap in the back post, but it's Dawson and it flicks off. I'm not sure if Calvert-Lewin did get something on it and then it flicked off Dawson's arm, but
yeah,
it went in off Dawson's arm, and they did say it could have been a red card if it hadn't have gone in, and a penalty, because obviously it's handball. And then the next goal was corner.
Do you need to go on mute for a second, David?
Give me 1 sec.
I'm on mute as well. Oh my God, how could you do it? I thought I was muting Basil. All I was saying was that I thought it was a really nice goal from Calvert-Lewin, and I was gutted to see it chalked off. Mr. Blue Size, he's going to enjoy the win. We're not going to talk about Saturday's game for now. Lee Page is saying it should have been 7-0. Thank you very much, Lee. Trevor, we were not great tonight, but the 3 points are very welcome. I think we were quite good, Trevor, and the 3 points are very welcome indeed. David, the fourth goal and guide us through that.
Again, another set piece. I think it was another corner. No, was it a free kick? Sorry, I don't know. There's too many moments.
I think this was another corner or a free kick from the right-hand side.
It was the right-hand side.
Dives.
Yeah.
He dives and smiles, but he doesn't touch it.
I feel like it might have been a free kick because of the angle that it came in for the, to head it as a diving header. That doesn't make any sense that it would have come from the corner. But anyway, but yeah, he goes into, he dives on the floor, and you think it's a diving header like he did in his days under Carlo Ancelotti. We haven't seen
when he was really athletic and getting on the end of things.
Yeah, that's what you want from him. But unfortunately, Craig Dawson, he didn't have his best night tonight. He was completely dominated, and he gets his head on it, and he can't help but take it into the goal. Yeah, for 4.
They've got a few yard dogs, haven't they?
They've let their squad age a little bit.
Yeah. Everyone, if you're new, please subscribe. If you haven't already, smash the like button. We're doing our best to keep content going. Hope you're enjoying it. Nearly 300 watching. 4-0. Everton have won a match. Scored a goal. Not one, not two, not three, not four. Actually scored 6 times today. 2 of them were ruled out. So you can't argue with that. You just have to enjoy that. And the 3 points, much needed.
It was a good game to watch. I don't know about in the stand, but it was an entertaining game. Watching it on the computer or the TV.
But when you're winning from early on and it's consistently scoring goals every
I
10
was
minutes, then
I was relaxed. I was lying in bed watching it on the screen, having my nice dinner at halftime. It was comfortable, but it's
there
not
wasn't a lot
usual.
of opportunity for Wolves, I thought. And I thought Wolves' chances came from our mistakes. For example, one I recall, which was a diagonal ball, which Mikalenko's too far into the centre rather than out marking his winger. And then Wolves flash it across the goal and should score. They had a few chances, Wolves. They just had no end product. Lee's asking if I'm a sumo suit. No, mate. I'm up the wall at the moment with what's going on
Is it
in my house
was
and
it
a new
cold
baby
there?
and stuff. It was cold. I got a hoodie on and
Yeah,
then I've got an overcoat. And then I saw this in the car and I debated. I thought, well, this doesn't really go with my outfit, but I don't really care. It was the best decision I ever did. I nearly walked up to Goodison in 2 layers. You need 3 layers tonight. It was
it did seem to get cold. It's gone cold today, and I did think it was going to be a cold night at Goodison. Yeah. So then there was an offside goal, wasn't there? I feel like that was one I didn't really. It was a bit of a scrap, wasn't it, with Undai? Undai put it in the end, but I think that one was really ruled out for good reason, really. But compared to the first one, that was much more of a clear cut. You didn't see it.
Chloe. She's saying Gary Neal has to go. Good results. Chloe, your fans were great. I thought your team was terrible. Really terrible.
Well, yeah, it's not like the Wolves you expect to see from previous years, is it?
Useless.
They usually do have something. They had moments of quality, Wolves, I thought, but it all came from like Kuna. Like he just like half a yard, he put a really good ball in that Wolves should really be scoring
Pace,
off,
yeah.
or a little bit of
He's
direct
got
running, and they create something. But it's very much flashes, a bit like it's like a more clinical Undai Kahuna. It's what I want to see Undai turn into, but they just couldn't make anything really convert tonight.
Cunha, pace, dribbling, skill. He's got a little bit about him. I want to talk about a couple more things before we do comments and wrap it up here. The first one is Richo. Hi, Richo. This is a VIP member. He's funding the channel. Thank you so much. If you want to become a VIP, we really do need more VIPs because StreamYard have just put the price up to £35 a month, which is just absolutely ludicrous on top of the other things you have to pay for. You can go to follow Everton on YouTube and click join on the computer, or on an Android if you see the join button. And the membership's from 99p. It is a glorified donation, but it's much appreciated. Harrison, David, fucking hell. It's after the watershed. The one on his right foot, he was like he was playing rugby, and he had to get it high over the bar. And the second one, come on, left foot as well, so close to the goal. It's like he was playing with a sledgehammer. It was awful. And this is the thing, as bad as McNeil was from open play, yes, he was really good on the set pieces, but when you look at the options that come on, the attacking options and the lack of composure in front of goal, so bad.
I think it's hard to judge these
TJ
players.
hates it as well.
It's hard to judge these players in the system because they basically change the entire attack. But I think you've got to judge Harrison and Lindstrom and I was going to say Beto, but it was Brozier today. I think you've got to judge them together in what they did, and I think Brozier looked a real threat, and he held the ball up, and he worked so hard for the couple of moments. He basically created Harrison's 2 chances, but Harrison completely skied them. You kind of want the reverse. You want Brozier being the one to finish it, but yeah, I just don't know. Harrison in the number 10, is that saw him then. I thought maybe try Lindstrom in there. You know, that's where he's played in the past. But he plays Harrison there, and it's a crucial area where you've got to be able to finish, and he doesn't have any composure.
You're right about Brozier. Just very quickly, hi Amanda, another one of our VIPs. Thank you so much. And Richo's happy birthday. Just turned 66 and he's retired. Congratulations. It might not be his birthday. It might have been his birthday like a month ago. We don't know. Happy birthday for when you just turned 66, and congrats on your retirement. Brozier, I completely agree, David. Dynamic, touch, pace, strength, dribbling, 2-footed. Bloody hell, he's going to be great.
Yeah, he looks a good player, and I mean, he's fresh on the pitch, so you've got to take that. And he's back from injury, so he won't be sort of as sharp as he could be either. So, you know, you got to take it both ways. He looks like he's a big physical guy. He gives me a sort of Mitrovic vibes, but with a bit more pace. I don't know. Maybe
I think because you mean he's quite lanky with a good touch, but he's not Mitrovic. He's very dynamic.
He's a lot more athletic. You can see that, but I
can't see Chimiti coming into that team when you've got Brozier there with playing like that. There's not a chance.
No, I think it's Brozier's to win, isn't it? Or Brozier's to win and then Brozier's to lose.
I suspect he will, and I think Beto will leave in January and possibly go to Roma or somewhere. I don't know, maybe back to Italy. Which is a shame he's not quite worked out for us, but Joey 11. Hi Joey. Lovely to see some regulars here. Can run with the ball. I think that's so important, isn't it?
Yeah.
To have that dynamism. Eugene's asking for my player ratings. We'll just whiz through them quickly and then wrap things up here. Pickford 7. David Mikalenko. What would you give Mikalenko?
6.
Tarkovsky 6. Branthwaite 6. Ashley Young 9. Then in the midfield,
I'd give Tarky a bit higher, but yeah.
Well, they just did their job.
Well, he was a threat at the other end. He won every header in the box. He was an attacking force, and I think also he just was in the right moment.
7 then for Tarky. Young 9. In midfield and Die 6, I think. I don't think it was his best game.
Really
6 is just kind of average.
On that right-hand side, we didn't really talk about it. He didn't really get in the game till the end of the game when he had space to run into and he played off the left.
David, Jazz is happy, and you know she rang me at 2:00 saying, "Did you sell David's ticket? I want it." Can you believe it? She went, "I want to go." I said, "He's just sold it last night." I told you. You said you didn't want to go. You would have seen a 4-0 win. What?
The Paul's ticket.
She was not going to sit on her own.
On her own? Oh, right.
If Jasmine had gone, we'd have lost 4-0. We wouldn't have won 4-0. She's never sat with me and seen us win. Just very quickly, Amanda, we'll come back to the player ratings. Thank you for that kind donation, Amanda. She says, our run now is full of difficult games. Where will the next win come from? David, should we say on Saturday against Liverpool?
Well, we'd like it to be. That's the one we'd take. Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll come on to that when we close out.
No, that's on the preview tomorrow, Dave.
Oh, right.
For Amanda, I think possibly Nottingham Forest will be our next winner. We might scrape a couple of draws if we're lucky.
I think we might have maybe get a surprise one somewhere. But it's a tricky ask, isn't it? Liverpool are flying, Chelsea are flying, City are back into form today. So yeah, maybe Forest, but let's see.
Yeah. I can suspect we won't get another 3 points now till the Forest. And even then, what was I going to say? Into that midfield then, and I thought did okay. I think it didn't quite come off for him on the right. I thought he was better on the left. Was really wanting to score. I feel like he always has to beat 2-3 players and then finish. I'd like to see him just have to do one player and score maybe. I think there's more goals in this game and they'll come. In the rest of that midfield, you've got Mangala in there. I think he was solid. I'll give him a 7. Of course, he scored, and Garner a 6. Got any comments on either of those two?
No, I'd probably give Mangala maybe an 8 because I think he was probably our second best player. Gay was, I think Gay and Dye, they had very quiet games considering the rest of the team. And I think the likes of Decore and McNeil, who we're about to come on to, the ones you're saying who pass it back and slow the tempo down, they were on the ball a lot and they worked hard. And I think yeah, they were ineffective. They didn't have their best games from an attacking perspective. But the fact they were on the ball more and didn't lose the ball, well, okay, they did lose the ball a little bit, but the fact that they were involved in the game more, is that not more of a credit than Undyne Gay, who basically shied away or were very ineffective? Like Undyne would win the ball, would just run into a player because he'd have to beat four men and he won't go past four.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So what you think of McNeil and Decore, because you've been slating them?
McNeil, I think he got 3 assists, which just
yeah.
I really think from his open play performance, I would have given him a 3. But with his set pieces, I've got to give him a 7 overall. And that's like through gritted teeth. But he did put the great balls into the box, so you've got to give him a 7 or an 8. His open play, if he was a 9, if he had a good game, because he got 3 assists, but he didn't have a good game from open play, so it brings him down to a 7.
Fair enough.
But you could give him an 8. He got 3 assists.
Yeah.
Why are you sending 199 to the channel? Like, you know, it's just a stupid idiot.
Okay, it's just to get your attention, so you go home. Plus,
I can see every comment. Fucking hell. Thank you, Amanda. Subscribe. 338 people watching. Don't know how many are on YouTube, but if you're new on YouTube, please, we want to hit the 3,000 subscribers. So many people just sit and watch us week in without and don't subscribe. Why have you got something to hide? David Decore, he's an enigma. Sometimes he's technically like unbelievable, and then the rest of the time he's like he's like tripping over the ball. He's like he can't get a hold of it and keep possession. He's like wants to fall. You think he's going to fall over. He looks like a bit of a donkey in there, and then other times he's like doing something, and you think, bloody hell, you've done that. That's class.
Yeah,
it's a difficult one to rate.
I'd give him maybe. I don't know if I can get, because you give him McNeil a 7, then I can't really give Decore a 7 because he wasn't that effective. But I think he was more involved and more effective than some of the others. So I'd give him a 6.5 on that basis.
Yeah, I think he made the good runs and he gave us discipline and he was a
physicality
and
winning second ball.
He made it more difficult for Wolves. I think they didn't like playing against him. Even if he was a bit hit and miss. Calvert-Lewin's a difficult one because he should have had 2 goals. I need to see them back. I think he worked hard. He won his duels because normally he's losing loads of duels and he's not holding the ball up. I'm going to give him a 7 for his performance today, Basil. I think it could have been a bit more had those 2 goals gone his way.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. And he made runs into the channel to win, to get us up the pitch and win balls. And he won his battles against Dawson. I don't remember him really losing any battles. We either got a throw in or a free kick if he didn't get the ball down. So can't really fault him for that. It's just I really want him to score that the one where Ashley Young flashes the ball across. That's the chance I've got to see him be scoring. And
absolutely, David. Absolutely.
He was in the right places, really.
There's competition for places up front now, and Brozier, who came on for me, had a really nice cameo and should have got 2 assists with a 7 out of 10. And so exciting from him. I wonder whether there's a way we can shoehorn him into the team. Jack Harrison, unfortunately, with a 0. In fact, if I can give him a minus, I would. He's just dreadful. I don't know what competition he won between him and Mikolenko. At least Mikolenko had an excuse to win a competition to get over here. Jack Harrison had no excuse. He's on £100,000 a week. And the guy is bloody useless. It doesn't matter what foot he uses. He thinks he's playing rugby or cricket. And David, the substitutions, the Harrison Armstrong got a little bit of a run out as well.
Yeah, that was nice to see, but
no sign of better, unfortunately.
Yeah, in hindsight, I think Ashley Young's performance kept him on the pitch, but I think if you want him to play against Liverpool, I think you're asking a lot. 3 games,
keep him fresh.
In 3 90 minutes, they're going to expect from him. He's going to pick up an injury sooner or later, no matter how fit he is. He's 39 years old.
He hates Patterson. He didn't want to even give Patterson or Coleman 20 minutes just so that there's an option for fresh legs on the weekend. But that's it from us tonight, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you smash the like button now if you're watching on Facebook, X, or YouTube. We're still trialing Restream with the comments on the display. We're sticking with StreamYard for now, but hopefully we'll be able to assess and make a decision when I've got a bit more time and back in the studio. David, thank you very much for hosting. Guys, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already and turn the notification bell on, and we'll see you very, very soon. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.